Here we are, just going to basically show you, just based on a few ATAT, which I'm very proud to actually check to see if anyone else had done one until after I built mine. But they're all quite different, some have gone bigger, some have gone smaller. And on PS4, so I don't quite have all of the cool stuff you PC players seem purely for show. It'd be wicked if we could like load him up with real guns and stuff. But it's kind of cool. It's like one last emergency get away from the horde if my base ever came down. Got some pretty cool views. I should have turned on still cool. You can kind of see all the different biomes from up here. And I think because of the way the building blocks are as well, it was sort of built at this size, or it would have had to have been 4 times bigger, because you can only lay the blocks down on certain angles and stuff. Anyway, that's ATAT, and now I'll take you into my base, show you around. Oh. Be careful I don't fall off that. I've fallen off it so many times. Died a fair few times whilst building the bad boy. Yeah, so there he is, there's that. Gonna try and do the Falcon and an X-Wing, but I'm still trying to figure out the logistics of it. I think the X-Wing isn't going to be a scale model, down to the angles that I can work with. But I should be able to do a scale model version of the Falcon. So I'll make another video once I've done that, let you guys have a look. Anyway, this is home. So, started by finding the house on the map, the golden house that's already got a forge, which helped kind of progressed real quick in the first few weeks. I'm on day 204, so just had a horde last night. As you can see, there's been a bit of carnage. I've got a bit of cleaning up to do, but we've got a few days to worry about that. Just gonna go through here. So it's first door through, second door. So this is the garage, this is where we keep the bike. I did have another bike, but some bugger stole it whilst I wasn't paying attention. But hey, that's the risk you take if you don't lock things away, I suppose. That's down to the Dwarven ruins, but I'll show you that in a minute, guys. So if we come up out the garage, into the garden area. So, planted a few trees in the wood, they look quite cool. I like the snow biome trees, so I'm going to go and get some more seeds and replace all of these with the white ones because I just think they look cooler, to be honest. Okay, here's the hot tub. Pretty proud of this bad boy. Actually managed to get water in there. It took a while playing around with water, but basically just get a bucket of water, and I figured out this glitch where if you chuck a bucket down on the floor, you could use the empty bucket to scoop it back up with, but it doesn't scoop up all the water, so you only actually need 1 bucket of water. Chuck it down, and then keep scooping it up, and every time you chuck it down, more and more, so if that makes sense. And next to the hot tub, got the barbecue, if we ever have friends over, lol. And then, you know, sort of Aslan table for dining on there. It's a shame I can't get different chairs. Didn't want to build stone chairs, because I think they would have been a bit too big, but yeah, it's a nice little touch. This is, if the end of the world ever happened, everybody needs a hot tub. Probably a bit dirty, looks like it needs a clean. Haven't figured out how to get a different coloured water yet. If we run around, this is Koga's kennel. Koga's my brother's dog. I'm sort of his auntie. He's beautiful. He's a baby husky. He's about 6 months old, but he needed a base. Not that he's got thumbs to play with. Carry on going around. This is my farm. Doesn't need to be huge. I started off doing real big plots of land, but I've got quite a lot of food stocked up, so this sort of sorts me out for now. Harvest that whenever I need it. That's the emergency bike ramp, so you know, if you're being chased by a horde and you haven't got time to go in the garage, take it up the ramp. It's a bit hit and miss. Makes the jump 80% of the time, depending on how upgraded the bike is. So that's the outside. Let's take you into the house. Up here. That's Christopher's bedroom upstairs. And this is my bedroom. Got some nice views. Put some windows in there just for a bit of wind coverage. And then obviously all my loot crates and whatnot. That's Rick's bed. Rick doesn't play too often. No, it's not me. We've got the upstairs veranda, porch, whatever you want to call it. I had to actually raise this entire thing up a level, so the ceiling's a little bit low. And I took a few panels out I wasn't happy about. I need to get those put back in. So a few little bits to sort out. And then if I go back in, I'll take you upstairs. Again, just sort of access points, nice views. The house on top is sort of for show, really. The main base is all underground, but we'll get to that in a moment. I do all the girly stuff, making things look pretty with furniture. Chris is the miner. Let me go that way. Just the ladder up. Okay, so if we go downstairs, oh yeah, these are my signs. Anyone ever randomly comes into the base? A bit of a weird sense of humour, I must say. So yeah, right, here we go. Here's the kitchen. Pretty lucky with this house, to be honest. Obviously we found it, it had the forge. And we didn't really need to do a lot down here. I did a couple of fridges. Got a bathroom. Just for show, really. Added a few bits of furniture, a couple of pictures just to make it look a bit more homely. Make sure the fridge is always nicely stocked up. And then we've got the beer fridge, always a necessity. And then on this bit we just sort of knocked out the windows and the weaker points of the walls. If the Zeds ever get over the trench, then there's... use the bow and arrow on them or the guns. I prefer the bow and arrow to the guns. I've got enough guns and bullets and I know they're more powerful, but I don't know, it just seems a bit more feminine with the bow and arrow. So let's go down into the ruins. So just to give you a point of reference to where we are at the minute, if I go back this way, that's the garage that we saw when we first came into the base. So obviously you can go up onto the garden area or we can go straight into the ruins. Good deal. So there's two ways down. You've got this way or the ladder that I just came down. We'll take this one, I think. I need to put a few more hay bales there. I do bail off ladders a lot and break my leg a lot. I've got a broken leg at the minute, actually. It'll heal up. So yeah, so we decided to, rather than build, sort of see what we could carve. Really into Elder Scrolls Online, and I really like all that underground, ruiny sort of dwarven stuff, and wanted to see what we could kind of create here, really. So that's the ladder I've just come down, and then if I go up, that's the other ladder there. And it's just been a case of playing. So I think you'll see this, obviously the first bit we dug out. It's a bit rough, edgewise. Mining like this, by the way, is absolutely fantastic for stone and supplies that you might need. We've just got a ridiculous amount of concrete just based on what we've mined out. So this is the bit I've done. So if we go down and down, I've got what I like to call my Flintstones base at the bottom of here. So just watch your step. It goes all the way down to bedrock, this huge cave. If we take the stairs down, that's the way. It's difficult with the lighting down here. The way the colour of the rocks is, it's hard to light the place so it really shows off the angles of what we've built and stuff. So this is my last resort emergency bedrock base. No way out of here yet, so I don't really want to get trapped down here if the Zeds do finally get through the upstairs stuff. But when I show you the next bit, it will make sense because we are going to join this up. And I think Chris is working on an underground motorway at the moment, which I have seen a few players do actually, and we really like the idea of it. So we're going to end up digging up most of the map at bedrock level and making it a wide motorway so that the bikes can just go from A to B. So yeah, this is inside my Flintstones house. Not got much furniture down here yet, just the basics. Got my big furnace fire thing. Looks pretty cool. And then just through to the bedroom at the back, where I've started bringing my storage down here because I don't trust other players that might log in. And I need to get one of them land blocks as well so that nobody can raid my loot. So that's bedrock. I like the bedrock actually. You got this beautiful sort of purpley, hazy glow to it. It's quite pretty. And there's that glitch as well. I don't know if a few of you have noticed where the when the sun rises at the top, you actually see it coming across on the bedrock. It's quite nice. So yeah, if we look up, if you'll sort of see what I mean about the light with the torches just yet, but maybe in a few years' time when electricity finally comes to the console. Anyway, if we go up here, I've started another mid-level cave system. If we go through this way. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. And yeah, so you can see I've just sort of halfway up another little cave system, which I will grow. I will build more. I like the these pillars that you can sort of carve out. Chris has done a lot more with his building with the pillars. But I'm about to show you that. So if I come out, he's put some like arrows on the walls. People know which way to go. Come back up here. Back up. There we go. That's the way. So yeah, didn't know I'll take some carving out, but I think once you've sort of leveled up your mining skills enough, I mean my pickaxe takes one strike now to take the stone out. Right, this is what Chris has been working on. As you can see, he spent a lot more time mining, whereas I seem to have spent more time putting potted plants everywhere. You can just see, again, the issue with the lighting. I mean, Chris has figured out over there, those pillars stand out pretty well. Another pillar there. This is a bit of a death trap down here. Every time I come down to see what he's been up to, I end up falling down some pit of doom and dying, so I'm going to be quite careful. I do apologise if I kill myself. So these are the outskirts of where he's been mining. I think that was the way down, or one of the ways down. We'll go down to here, and it does all really like blend in. It's very difficult to see at the moment mid-carve. That goes all the way down to bedrock, and I believe that's where he started tunnelling the motorway system. But we're gonna eventually, this will link up to the pit that I've built the other side, because you always want to have more than one entrance, exit, escape route. Trying to remember the way down. Let's try this way. Oh no, not good. Oh, hang on, no, I thought I was going to fall into a pit of doom then. So that's... Here we go, this is it. Yeah, that's... I don't want to be falling down there. Take... Oh. See. 2 seconds, I should make another splint. No, I don't know what I want. Just got loads of crap in my inventory actually. I've just looted a load of Horde Night zombies. Nothing really great's come from it. Let's get rid of those. Right, let's go down. There we go. Squeeze on through. Oh, he's gonna kill me when he logs in and realises I've just took these blocks out. Oh well. Yeah, you can see what I mean about the stone. I mean, look at the amount he's got in there. He's got 5 more chests absolutely full of stone. I've got a full chest of cement. So here we go. This is the beginnings of the underground motorway. And I do believe he has now built the escape hatch at the other end. So I can't run very fast with my 3 times over broken leg. Where are we? There we go, radical, yeah. Well, that's going to be hard with the mini bike. He's going to have to open that up a bit more, I think. To be fair, kudos to those of you that have you've built your motorways all over the entire map, because this takes a lot of time. And you feel like you've really got somewhere with the mining, and then you poke your head out to see that you're not that far away from your base still. There we go, there's the hatch. Oh, the little sock. Okay. And he's locked it, and he's not told me the code, so I'm going to have to go back the other way. I think he'll be laughing when he watches this video back at that point. Okay, this way. So yeah, I'm going to be twitching actually very, very soon. Just sort of practicing a little before I go live with Twitch. Don't want to lose any followers before I've got them, if that makes any sense. That's a ladder up, I hope. Brilliant. That's great, he must have just built that. There is another cave system. Yeah, so you can see where he's going to go down there. It's just a flipping labyrinth down here, to be honest. I can't even find the bit I wanted to show you guys. Which is another... Is it maybe this way? Have I got any torches? No. Bugger. Ah, there we go. Yeah. You get my point. There's just tunnels and caves everywhere. He just gets bored of one and starts another. I do like this with the pillars. It's going to look really cool once we're done, but I'm thinking it's going to be like day 300 before this really starts to look like something special. I think you wanted to show off the hot tub and the AT-AT with this video, if I'm honest. And I'm open to suggestions on what to build next. Obviously the Star Wars theme is always going to be a winner. I was thinking maybe something like the Eiffel Tower, but I think that might be a bit boring. Where am I coming out? Get out of here. Back at top. Oh, it's already, yeah. It's the one annoying thing actually when you're on multiplayer, not being able to change the length of the days or how long they last, and it just seems to go so quick every day does. So although I'm kind of proud of being at day 204, I'm kind of not at the same time, because I like to max length out the days. Kind of maxes out the Horde night as well. So there's AT-AT one more time. Yeah, oh yeah, the trench. Obviously, I built a huge trench around the base. It seems to be doing the job. Although, the one corner over here, because I've built it into the hill, you get the odd running zombie that seems to be able to make the jump. However, I have got to take this barrier up a level. I've raised the entire thing up a level since we found the house. Obviously, this was the first thing I put in, just for a temporary measure for those first few badass Horde nights. But yeah, I do need to raise the iron bars up a level, and I think that will stop the odd jump. I mean, it's when I say a few get through, I've probably had about 3 get over since I built the trench, which is quite annoying. The trench is doing the job. It is only 1 wall thick at the moment. Obviously, I do intend to change that. But I started the base back when Horde nights were absolutely insane. I think they've changed that a little now. You don't seem to get more than about 8 zombies at a time, which is a bit annoying because it kind of makes you feel, what's the point in progressing your base any further? If your hordes are never going to get any stronger than they are. And in theory, this base is a keeper. But then maybe that's why I've started playing around aesthetically with things like giant AT-ATs. Yeah. It looks a bit chunky in the middle. Might take that bottom layer of Adobe off, just to make him look a bit less chubby. And of course you can't see the feet from down here either. So the AT-ATs kind of spell out a little bit, their feet do. So yeah, one more look at the hot tub. Well, this was really simple to build. It's one layer deep. The middle of it is, it's just trickery. It's just playing around with the water glitching. So it's just sofas all the way around. The middle's actually the same level that the sofas are. I just chucked a couple of buckets of water down. And naturally, because of the glitchiness of it, I've been left with these corner pieces that don't seem to want to fill. Which is cool. Kind of makes it look like that's a little seated area. And then I just added the steps just to give it a bit of character. Patio looks nice, and again, the only problem with the Adobe patio, it looks great, and I kind of built it with the intention of putting the sort of table and chairs on top of it, but obviously you can't. It's a bit frustrating. So if I wanted to place a block on top of this now, it's going to go there like that, which just looks weird. Again, I don't know, maybe it's a PS4 thing. I've watched a lot of videos with the PC gamers and they just seem to be able to do so much more. It's really frustrating. Really tempted to get myself a PC just for this game. But it does seem a bit ridiculous to fork out for something like that for one game. Been proper hooked on 7 Days for a good year though, if I'm honest. There's been many bases, all trolled and errored. And I think both me and Chris sort of settled on the underground being about the best way to go. I've tried the underwater thing. The tree houses just doesn't work because you can't attach anything to a tree, and it takes a zombie all of about 5 seconds to take down a tree. Which is a shame. It would be great actually if we could build off trees and upgrade the bases maybe so that you couldn't, you know, something like concrete around it. Protect it a little. So yeah, this house was the little gem that's hidden in the Navezgane map with the forge in it, and we just sort of took advantage of that. But again, we only really found this house from the amount of other bases we started, and we wandered around, and I think we decided one day that we were going to go for our end game base, and we found that pretty much within the first 2 days. And yeah, it's helped tremendously, really. So, really open to ideas and thoughts. I really want to go down this building shit that nobody else has thought of route. Don't think anybody else has built a hot tub. I haven't seen that anywhere on YouTube. Haven't checked out Twitch yet. And yeah, like I said, gutted when I found out there were a few other AT-ATs out there. But I think mine looks pretty cool. Could do with building like a few of them. I want to try and do one next to it actually that's walking. I think the thing that looks a bit weird about this, every picture you see of an AT-AT, their legs are angled. They are mid-walk. I think that would look a little cooler, but again, figuring out the logistics, because obviously you can only really build at a 45-degree angle, which is frustrating. So for curves and things, you gotta go big. If you want to get the proportions, you've got to go big and view it from afar for it to look like what you want it to. I was curious about a swimming pool. I could build a pool, I don't know, put a diving board by it, but I think it's just going to look a bit like a bigger version of this, really. I've done that now, so I want to try and move on, find the next thing. So yeah, got a bit of repair work to do after last night's horde. I think the spikes work wonders as well. They're so cheap and easy to make. The only problem is just make sure you've got a lot of bandages and first aid kits whilst you're building. Because if you're anything like me, you'll fall off all of the ladders and you will walk into pretty much every other spike that you lay down. Yeah. And the trench, you'll notice I've got some of the walls are straight up, others I've angled. And I think I just wanted to not trap the zombies down there. Give them an opportunity to be able to escape. Obviously, if I've gone out for the day, or if I'm spending a few days on the other side of the map, and someone falls down here, they can end up doing quite a lot of damage before I get back. Whereas if they've got a way out, generally they do tend to wander off. So hence why I've put a couple of sides with ramps on. Just to make sure they don't destroy my bloody base, to be honest. The Zeds are attractive to doors, but that's why I've double-ended the garage. But like I said, since it became 8 zombies per horde, it's not really an issue, because I just stand up here and blow them away. Or just lead them off around the rest of the spikes. Oh, bear with me, I need to get some... I need to have a drink. Before I end up dying. I love breaking my leg. I've always got a broken leg in this. It's frustrating, but it's not like I need to run with the bike. Am I going to make it to the food before I do? Probably not. Should have thought about that before I started streaming. I'm sorry, everybody. Obviously, I'm a bit of a girl when it comes to gaming. Come on. Totally out of stamina as well. I'm so close. Idiot. That's water right there. Actually, some pasta. I found the best thing for the food actually is the grilled meat, I think it is. That really fills you up, and it takes your max levels up a little bit as well, which is really nice. And another little glitchy thing for those of you that haven't spotted it, if you go hunting on your bike, you just run everything over. It kills it straight away. It's great. So you just chase down some deers on your bike, run them over, reap the rewards. So it's night time again now. I don't know if we're going to get much action. It seems to go quiet the night after Horde and the night before Horde. You don't really seem to get a lot out there. Show you where I am on the map actually, for those of you that might want to try and find this house. Zoom out. So this is the main game map. So we're sort of top left corner, just under the top city. And if you can find this body of water, here we go. That's where the forge house is. So we are, where are we? 836 north and 1278 west. If you guys want to find it and make your own. I've seen quite a few gamers use this as their starter base though, and it's a nice little touch put in there by the devs, I reckon. There's Atat again. I think he does need to be a little bit longer at the back, doesn't he? Then I'd need to move his entire leg system back. It's actually really difficult with the head. What I've noticed with the other Atats that seem to be out there, a lot of them are supported by trellising. I didn't want that. I think it takes away from what it is, so as far out as I have extended is as far as I seem to be able to extend. That's probably about the 4th head that I built. They just kept falling off. It was really frustrating. So obviously with that I've sort of had to compromise with the shape of it a little. It does need to be sort of 1 block longer, but again it just can't support itself, and I had to sort of, I've used adobe blocks actually rather than the concrete, because the concrete was just too heavy to support everything I wanted to put up there. It's the hard thing with building, is there's a lot of compromise because of what we've got to build with versus what we want to build. So yeah, so there we go guys, that's our base. Been working bloody hard on it for a couple of months if I'm honest. Working full time as well, so it's not like I can just log in for hours every day, which I wish I could. So yeah, hopefully you like what you see. If you do want to find me on Twitch, It's under Silent Banshee. Banshee with 1 E. There's bare people on there with 2 E's, so that's sort of compromise again. A lot of compromise in this gaming world. So, I'm going to sign off. Thanks for watching. I hope you like the video. Bye.